Hey everybody, welcome to Q&A. So today, Jason Link asks, what's the best thing you can say in a job interview that gets you hired? Excellent question, Jason. There is actually something that you could say, something that you could do that has a huge impact in a job interview, and that is for you to tell the interviewer, I want this job. Now, let me explain for a second because there's a bit of an explanation here. There is a standard job interview question where they ask you, why do you want this job? Okay, that's a standard interview question. It is another form of them saying, why should we hire you? Okay, now I've already done a video on how to answer that question. I'll put a link in the description. Long story short, if they ask you, why do you want this job? You say, well, as I understand it, you're looking for somebody who, and then you go down the list of job requirements saying how you speak to each one, okay, how you satisfy each one. Okay, that's the short answer for how to answer that question. But this is something else that I'm talking about now, okay? This is not you answering a question. This is you, unprompted, telling them, I want this job. Okay, it's a statement. And it's very powerful. And here's why. When you interview as a candidate, most interviewers, whether they are recruiters or hiring managers, especially hiring managers, they will make the assumption that you want this job in the sense that you want a job because you need money, but that you're not particularly hell-bent or passionate about this particular job, like doing these duties and having these responsibilities and working here, okay? They're going to make this assumption about you that that's the case. Now, for a lot of candidates, that's true, okay? But for other candidates, it's not. You are particularly attached to this job and you're passionate about it. And if that's the case, you need to say this line. You need to communicate this to them, okay? Because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for hiring managers and recruiters. They are looking for a candidate who is not only qualified to do the job, there are quite a few of those, but they're looking for someone who's qualified and they're passionate, okay, about doing this particular job. That's what they're looking for. Okay, so if that's what you are, you need to communicate that. Okay, maybe I can just tell a bit of a personal story here to illustrate this. I've been on both sides of this question in my career, and the last time that I was a candidate, and this kind of came up, was a few years ago. I was interviewing with a company. They flew me out to Toronto, Canada, to do an interview with the CEO of the company. And it wasn't in an office. This was in a public place. This was in a restaurant in a convention center in Toronto. So I went to Toronto. I met the CEO. I did this job interview. And just so you know, this does happen a lot. A lot of job interviews do happen in public places. And so it was about an hour long, and they asked me a lot of the kind of standard job interview questions and a few other things. And one of the questions that they asked me, my answer turned into a bit of a two-way exchange, like a conversation. And so I said to them, listen, I want to tell you something very important, and I want to make sure you're listening. Are you listening? And they said, yeah, I'm listening. Go ahead. So I said, okay, I want this job. I'm very suited to what you're looking for here. And I'm very passionate about doing this kind of work. And this is a tremendous opportunity for me. So I just want you to know that I really want this job. And they said something like, okay, okay, gotcha, thanks for sharing. And I got the job. Now, this was a surprise to me because I knew that I was up against a few other candidates who were probably more qualified than I was. I mean, I was qualified, but they had more years of experience and maybe better qualifications than I did. And they were kind of, as far as I was concerned, they were probably going to get it. But what I suspect happened was that although they were more qualified technically, they probably didn't communicate how passionate they were about it. Okay? So in my case, a little bit of passion made up for perhaps slightly less qualifications, but I was still qualified. Okay? So that illustrates the power that this can have. And it's a very general thing, so it works in, I believe, most situations. This is going to work, or it's going to have an effect anyway. So hopefully this was helpful. Thank you for sending in this intelligent question. Keep sending me intelligent questions. I love to read them and I like to respond to them. You guys are awesome. Never, ever forget that. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.